All right, we're testing some new meta glasses here. Hopefully you see what I see. We're going to start with a Canon, this laptop. You don't see a whole lot of Canons out there, but it's the Canon model US23503. It's a little smudge, might be a J, could be a 3. Pretty sticky. Not a whole lot going on it. The Innova 386NV. 386, usually that means gold. So I see we got some screws here. Get rid of the screen. I don't know if you can shows up, but it's pretty damn burned. I'd be curious to see what's inside this screen. Yep, came off just like expected. Oh man, where did I put my snaps? There they are. So you get the full view of my nasty workspace. Okay. Laptops, I usually don't touch them. The vintage ones, though, are the exception. Some laptops, they're usually the big fat gray ones. They're massive, like super fat, super heavy. They have these gold kind of CPUs. That's all threads on there, are hairs. I keep those because right away aqua regia on those. Once you get a lot of them, it's pretty good yield. Looks like there could be some screws in this under these pads, but it's not really coming up, so we'll see. Anyways, what's new? I haven't broken down in a while. I know, a lot going on. I've got the franchises opening up in Houston. So if you're in the Houston area, there's going to be some city e-waste locations headed your way soon. We've got the people flying in, do the training. Oh, look at that nasty battery. Jeez. So my dream of franchising an e-waste business has come true. We have signed the deals, money cleared. Got 7 territories opening up in Houston. Ooh, came out nice. Okay, so this battery, the laptop batteries usually will sell. We have a buyer for those, but do not think this one's going to sell. It's like all these celled batteries. And you got to be real careful because you have to insert this side up. Just don't forget to do that. So we'll throw that in nickel cadmium. Okay, I'm starting this new meta glasses. So it sounds like it turned off, so there might have been a little split second there. So I'll monitor that. This is interesting. It's like this wax pour over on all these devices. I know it's not wax. It's some kind of like plastic, but it looks like oh, that broke right open, didn't it? Little capacitor came off. Super interesting. I don't see that a whole lot. We've got some chunky is what we call it in-house. It doesn't matter if it's, well, gold is obviously better, but chunky RAM gets its own category. It gets depopulated. So because of the gold in these IC chips, that says Toshiba on it. Forget Toshiba made computer chips for a while there. Some gold ribbon, but it is not gold. It is silver. I still put it in ribbon wire. Ribbon wire is selling for over $1 a pound now, which is nice because it's super light and takes forever to build up. This is interesting. This hard drive caddy wants to come up. Something's preventing it from it. Guarantee it's user error. Some nice gold pins there. I see these screws, but I don't see the casing screwed. There's that one that came up. Oh, it's on the side. No? You know what? Maybe. It just needs a little prying. It sure did. Ooh, nice. Chunky boy there. More ribbon wire. Aluminum. It's an aluminum shell. Steel there. All that stuff goes into... I actually have a full... Oh, look. Gold. Must have missed this yesterday. Yoink. Put that in my pile. Take that apart. This is plastic. It's got a sheen like it could be aluminum, but it is not. This back plane, or this back I/O shield and this laptop is gonna be a pain in the arse. So I'll probably just go ahead and start breaking. Where's oh yeah, it's got a little aluminum back here. So yes, franchise is sold, all good. Check. First franchise, first e-waste franchise in the country. A couple of folks have attempted to do it and it fell apart. We were able to do it. I got a great team, got a great model, and you know what? Franchising is expensive. Like running someone's model and paying royalties and licensing fees. You know, it's not for everyone, but I've really taken this business from a backyard hobby and scaled it to a enterprise operation. But those backyard hobby roots are still there, and so you know, I still intend on teaching as many of you as I can on how to, you know, run an e-waste business properly from your backyard. It's just, you know, one or two people helping you. The franchise obviously has taken me away from my original mission, was to do yard mining and show people how to, you know, not have to work for the man for minimum wage, you know, flip burgers or whatever, and actually do good for your community. And so as I start to roll out these franchises and royalty funds start to come in, and we start getting our money back of our, you know, our initial investment, this is something that I'm very much going to be facing and prioritizing come later in the year this year. The book is done. It needs illustrations and it needs an editor to make sure that all my mistakes are fixable. And you know, AI is great for a lot of things. It's just not great for writing. So I did write the book. I had brought it to Claude and say, hey, you know, help me out here. And it put a bunch of, you know, M dashes, and ruined it. So I was like, I'm not doing this. And so I actually need a human editor. If you know any, let me know. This is interesting. It's just such a tiny little board. It really wasn't worth the squeeze. Most laptops aren't worth the squeeze, man, honestly, to break down, unless they're just super old. I mean, I was looking like, oh, maybe there's some kind of hidden chip. I mean, there's a nice AMD, but I'd just rather sell that just as a high-grade motherboard. Put this in there as well, this little guy. So anyways, back to the grind of yard mining. I think it's got a lot of potential to build a community, and to help all these folks that want to make money, you know, in their backyard. So that's going on. I'm going to be doing, I just got these Meta glasses. I'm going to be doing some TikTok live sales. I've kind of narrowed down a couple things that I'm going to be selling. I'm going to be really just experimenting and doing it on my off hours. Again, I've got all the new general managers that are opening up in Houston. There's going to be a bunch of folks coming in and training. So I've got that on my mind, really, and don't have a whole lot of free time. It's a nice little board. So I will be handling that when they're done and trained. Do some live selling. I'm thinking VHS Tuesdays. We get a lot of VHSs. Just kind of low-hanging fruit, things like that. You know, we're not going to sell people's data, basically. You know, anything with data on it that's sensitive, we're just going to completely stay away from. I don't think I want to get involved in this. That's just a single little board right here. I think I'm good. On this micro scrap. I'll just, while I'm here, I'll take that. So yeah, no cell phones, laptops, unless they're completely wiped. My team can potentially wipe them, but it's like, well, if you're going to wipe them, why not just sell them on eBay, you know, kind of stuff. I'm going to pee. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, live selling on TikTok. I've got a decent following on TikTok. I think other e-waste individuals that have been doing this for a lot less time than me have got way better presence on TikTok. I've really fallen behind getting these franchises out, but you know, you got to choose your battles and what you're going to focus on. And I think I chose wisely with the franchising. It's rolled out really nicely. So yeah, that's about it on the TikTok. I've hired a full-time content, not creator, because I guess I would be the content creator, but he's comes from Hollywood. He moved here from California, and he was in the movie industry, you know, making movies and stuff like that, and just really, I think, saw the writing on the wall with how talented Claude or AI is with creating content now. So got out of it, moved his family here where we are, and was looking to, you know, find something that makes a difference. And he actually came in. I wasn't in the office that day. My employees told me that he stopped by. It's a nice little vintage Ram. It's not super chunky, but it's gold and it's nice. And he came in with his kid and his wife, and they made like a video and like just said, hey, I really want to be part of this. And made just a promo, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it showed a lot of initiative, and met with them. We ended up, you know, having a lot in common, and vibing really well. And so anyways, he's on full time now, and he's going to be really helping me get this content going back online again. Like, everything took back seat with the franchising. It took a year and a half to get going. It's expensive, it's drawn out, and yeah, I mean, we're finally doing it. We're selling them. I'm on calls every day with a new territory. Man, this plastic is just falling apart. I'm barely touching it, and it's just like crumbling. So, you know, this is pretty old. Like today, Dallas, yesterday was, what was it? Atlanta. I had Charlotte online today, but I had to reschedule. He had a conflict. And, you know, these are sharp, very good business people that are looking for investments, you know, a little bit recession-proof, AI-proof. And there is nothing that I know of more recession-proof than the waste industry. And, you know, the waste industry is broad. You've got cardboard and household trash. I'm not liking how this is breaking. I don't have gloves on, and it's super sharp, so I'm going to flip her and see how that helps. Laptop battery goes well. So it is about as recession-proof as it gets. And AI-proof is something that you have to be thinking about now. Like, you know, lawyers and CPAs and health teachers, their jobs are in danger, and it's going to happen sooner than later. And so I've got a lot of leads like from Deloitte and other big companies that pay really, really well, but they work like crazy, and they do, that dropped. They do a lot of layoffs. And so we got people with savings and 401ks and wanting to make an investment, but don't want to do restaurants or whatever, you know, something trending like donuts. You know, carbs are good one year and terrible another year, and, you know, health kicks and all that stuff. So gyms are super crowded and over, you know, there's just only so many things that don't have a bunch of competition. And they're seeing, hey, the e-waste industry is pretty cool. You get free stuff, right? And if it works and you can refurbish it, you can resell it for, you know, you get a $100 laptop that you got for free. You put $15, $20 of your time into it, and bam, you know, you got $80 profit. And then that goes all the way down to, you know, remote controls, you know, some vintage Bose remote control. We just sold 2 of them. I think they were $20. Just listed it, took 5 minutes. $20, you know. You get free stuff and you sell it, and the stuff that doesn't sell is still just scrap, man. It's still a scrap. It's still a commodity that's traded on the open market. I'm sure if you have seen some of my videos before, there's got to be a screw in here. See, that's why we don't do laptops. It's the fucking onion, man. It's just a layered onion that isn't good. I wish that keyboards, like vintage keyboards, had a resale value. I think for very rare, of course they would, but man, we toss so many keyboards, and there's that silver Mylar underneath it. It's just not worth going. Just not worth the skin on your knuckles to go get. So yeah. e-waste industry as about as recession-proof as it gets. Internet of Things is coming online more and more. We're about, ooh, that's aluminum. Let's get it to something's good. Yeah, that's aluminum. Sweet. 32 billion internet connected devices exist right now, with estimates by 2034 to be 96 billion. Bro, that's crazy. Like, there's only 9 billion people on the planet. So Internet of Things has really sped this up. Watches being e-waste and all that stuff. So we have more devices coming online with shorter life cycles. Sounds like a recipe for success to me. Well, sounds like a recipe for disaster ecologically, but I think that's why more and more people are getting into the business. There's a lot of money to be made in it. I ain't got to tell you that. Disk drives. So some of these older ones really do have like good gold, but we put them in disk and don't micro scrap them. We just gotta go for the stuff that pays the most, honestly. I gotta empty my throw drawer. All right, got some more ribbon here going in there. I'm gonna take that all to the warehouse. That's an interesting board. It's got some of this like plasticky tape filmy stuff on it. Oh, there it goes. Really old. This was an old laptop. I should have showed you all the model. I didn't. Sorry, I got to talking and gabbing, but those are really nice chips on here. Just tiny, but probably mid to high grade. This is interesting. It's got that. I think this is the CPU. I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna get some of the sharp stuff out of the way. I'm not wearing gloves today because I'm an idiot and can't find them. And I'm sure they're laying around here somewhere. They're right in front of my face. I just don't notice. So I was going to try to lift this up. Oh yeah, it does lift up. So it looks like this could be brass, like brass poles here. I would assume that they're brass, but some of this older vintage stuff, it could be plated. This is the worst. I don't even know why I have these. So I went to go turn them and it didn't turn, so I ain't doing that. I'm going to try to snip them. Oh yeah. Oh, that's gone. Going back to these. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to put them in. I think it's brass. I'm just going to put them in gold in there. They're all going to the crock pot or hot pot, pickle pot, whatever you call it. Yeah, they're definitely brass. They're just brass risers. I'm an idiot. Okay, so put it in my brass. What else do you want to talk about? Or what else do you want to get talked about too? Because YouTube yet, I need to start going live more. But I'm super focused when I'm going live. Like, okay, that's aluminum. Yes. Here is an example what I was talking about with these hairs. Wrong drawer. There it is. And I don't really know what this guy's doing in here. I just kind of haphazardly threw this in here one day. I just need to get rid of that. I swear I'm a hoarder sometimes. Okay, so on the other side of this, on the edges here, they're just little, but they're little gold hairs. These don't look as gold as the other ones. It's an Intel. I'm sure some of y'all can read that, but I'm too old to read it. I would get a blade, which of course I left my razor blade in the kitchen, but here's a backup box cutter. What I do is I just kind of get under there, cut all the way around it, and you can see there's going to be little tiny hairs, little fibers. There they are on the back, so I'm just going to put that in there, and then there's some left on the chip itself. And so if you had an eraser, like an old 90s eraser, that also works to kind of just erase it on there. But I'm going to go ahead and just use my fingers, cut around the edges. And you just want all these hairs. Now, you're not going to get a significant amount per chip, but they do all add up. this. Lift that up. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and put the whole chip in there, because when I get it in the Aqua Regia, all that gold will dissolve, and then maybe I'll put the flat chip into my flat packs. So yeah, that's why the guy right here is really like the only reason to break down vintage laptops, other than have stimulating conversation and see what's what. That's really the only reason. Those little fibers, that's why I do it. This keyboard, it's metal, it's an Acer. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna throw it in the shred pile. This is going into mid-grade or low-grade. And yeah. Oh, something to talk about other than all the other crap I've been talking about. We got the franchise, right? The book's almost there. We're going to be, once we go live with the book, we're going to be opening up the private membership for like advanced tactics, from e-waste refining. We're going to try to get people from the e-waste Facebook group to kind of come in and talk about, giving lessons on refining, stuff like that. But the other thing is that boardbuy.com is live. We've been working on it for a little bit, just picking at it, and building it out. We had to do the whole infrastructure because we have a, you can pay with cash, or excuse me, not cash, you can pay with PayPal, or crypto. So we had to set it up, make sure we're good with the government, set all the paperwork up, to where, we're following all the laws, since crypto laws are so fuzzy. But, we pay in Bitcoin or Solana, USDC, or Bitcoin, just right on the main chain. And we're paying the highest prices. I put a lot of money and a lot of investments to get this right. So this is going to go into the jar of like pins. It's old enough. You can see, like, if it's not perfect, there's pretty dirty. That's just going in there. Put a lot of money into this investment, to get it right. So, BoardSword is amazing. Like, they are such a great company. And he is such a valued part of our community. And, this is not, I'm not saying sorry, I'm going to finish this. We're not really competing. They're so big and so put together. We're more of a kind of a experimental, see if there's a life for e-waste and crypto. Two things that are very important to me. And there's a gap to fill, a slight gap. And we just decided that we're going to pay the most, right? We're going to beat BoardSword's prices by a penny, sometimes more other times. Because we want to be able to at least come out and add value right away, instead of just kind of nickel and dime and blah, blah, blah. So what we're doing at BoardBuy, is we actually have an inactive tool that we built that will quote you. I don't want to give away too much of the secret sauce, but, and then pay you out as soon as it arrives. Shipping's basically deducted from your, we'll pay for shipping, we'll get it, and it's deducted, the price of the label's deducted from your order. And depending on what it is, we'll even cover the shipping. There's some stuff that we honestly really want. But we've got some relationships established that are going to be treating this material a little bit differently, I think, than what happens to it otherwise. So we're not sitting on so much inventory as it comes in. We're paying out in Bitcoin or cash or whatever it is, and we're able to get some profit back rather quickly, by a new relationship that we formed in Canada. It's a government entity in Canada, and yeah, it should be interesting experiment. And what's great about it is that, a lot of my buyers, when I first started in e-waste, they made you basically fill up a Gaylord before, of anything, and then won't come out for unless you could fill up a truck or something like that. And even then, the fees are ridiculous. So I just decided, hey, if you're going to get started in this industry on a small scale, you need immediate buyers. And this is for my franchises as well. So they're going to be getting in hard drive boards and RAM and all this stuff, and they're going to have, they can mail a shoebox. Doesn't matter how much it is. I think it does matter. Sorry, I'm already correcting myself. It needs to at least cover, it needs to be a $15 order. Is kind of our minimum, right? And I just think there's so much opportunity for that. So I own boardbuy.com, and I'm going to use it, and I hope you use it too. Again, there's some really cool people in this industry that are buying boards just like we are. You are free to use whoever you want to. I'm not going to be like, oh, but don't buy that. Sell to us instead. Sell to whoever you want to, man. But we're going to go ahead and position ourselves as the best payouts, the easiest to use, the more payment options, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to. There's this young guy that I saw. He was on YouTube. No, not YouTube. TikTok. And it is sellyourboards.com. Super knowledgeable, super great guy. It seems like he really knows his stuff. So I definitely want to reach out and talk to him, and even have him on the podcast. We're doing our Ecopreneur podcast. Again, it's just everything's kind of just had to be put on hold while we franchise, but that's starting back up as well. I'm flying out to Minneapolis to meet with a couple different people out there. There's a huge e-waste scene in Minneapolis. I know it's a scene, and I just said that. Those are words that came out of my mouth. It's interesting how that's all connected. But yeah, I'm just firing on so many cylinders. The more attention that e-waste is getting, the more we're really, me and my team are positioning ourselves to kind of be the new kid on the block, per se, because we are doing things so differently than traditional e-waste companies. And I will tell you is because I had no experience in e-waste. I knew nothing about it. I discovered e-waste bin, but what I did know is how to build a business. I did know how to code and develop, IT and come on, buddy. And now it's just never been easier. I have a full-time developer on staff that also has a full team on staff called Claude, who's like $20 a month. It's great. It's like $100 a month now. We got the big one. But anyways, we're just creating so much material and so much value. And it's never been easier just to play, just to try new things. So the franchises are really capitalizing us. They're paying us royalties, 8% royalties. Those royalties are then funding our exploration into new ideas. Board Buy is kind of one of those new ideas. Well, it's not a new idea, but it's just something that we've always wanted to explore. And it's just, I think, a win-win for everybody. So yeah, if you have a small order and you want to give us a try, or new to Bitcoin or Solana, and want to get paid, and we can even teach you how to set up a wallet, all that stuff. I think everyone kind of benefits. I know that in this industry, crypto isn't necessarily received well in all rooms, especially the gold guys and gals. That's cool. I mean, I'm into it all. I like crypto. I like precious metals. I love stocks. I love whiskey, investing in whiskey, rare bottles. I love watches. I love anything where you can make a profit from and have to use your brain. I love it all. So I'm definitely pro crypto. I think there's something to it. It might actually work. We'll see. At the end of the day, I bought Bitcoin at ranging from $20 to $330. I sold most of it having a blast, traveling the world. I paid for my daughter's first car. I've lived off it for years. I had no idea it was going to be almost or over $100,000. So I wish I would not spent a dime of it and saved it and retired. But I lived and I had fun. I lived in an RV. you know, for a while. And wow, I can see like do you see that gold coming through the board? Man, I know it's just so tiny, but you know, yes, it is tiny, but if you're talking about ore and rock, like from the ground, it's even tinier than that, you know? That's why I'm keeping it. So I'm not going to go get that little bit board off. Even these aren't worth it. No idea what I was talking about. Why do I feel like I was talking about gold or crypto? I don't know. Look, a battery pack that isn't gold. That's interesting. So this is a nice little laptop board. These are these quad-sided flat packs. My boy Mike, who refines a lot of our stuff, loves these because there's not a lot of material for the acids to eat, and you know, it's not like a chunky one like this guy. Huge difference, right? He loves these. He says that actually the smaller the better. So you could depopulate these 3 off and still leave the chunky ones on there for your buyer. I'm probably just going to sell it exactly as it is. Doing less and less of that chip harvesting. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you just got to move on. So yeah, that's really all I got. I had 2 laptops that took entirely too long, made a huge mess. But I'm glad we got a chance to do a long form, which I haven't done in a while. I do miss y'all. I know it may not seem like it sometimes. I know it may seem like I've got a lot going on and can't check in with you, and that is all true. But I love this community. I wish I could be more involved. There's only so many hours in the day, unfortunately. And as things start to happen and align, I will be plugging in. What am I looking for? Can anyone guess what I'm looking for? I'm looking for something to sweep this up in. Oh, I'm just going to do it the hard way. I do miss you. Oh, look. Oh, that is a brown recluse. That is a brown recluse. Fuck. Okay, that's a big one, too. I just wanted that chip. All right, buddy. You're going to die today. And it's not personal. It's just I like my skin. I need you to go out, and you're done. Phew. Okay. Exciting. I'm going to do brown recluse in the title. I'm going to do a YouTube thumbnail that's like me in this gold board getting attacked by a giant brown recluse. I want to see how many clicks it gets. Because that's ridiculous and no one should ever believe me. All right. That's it. I'm signing off. Stay profitable, my people.